Hi, my name is Donna Shaw, and I am a certified holistic health coach and a mom to a soon-to-be 6-year-old, and we live in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. I have been on the Unmask New Jersey Schools Facebook group for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I've been having a lot of upset with my daughter going to school at not even 6 years old and having to wear a mask for 7 hours. And so I've had a lot of feelings and a lot of thoughts come up. I'm a little nervous making this video. The first thing I wanted to talk about was just something that occurred to me this morning when I was thinking about the two sides and where we are and where we want to be, and also where we are and then where the powers that be and the schools and the teachers and all that. And it made me think about my own situation with my husband and our marriage. And we're in couples therapy. We've been married, I don't know, 8 years, I think. And so I know that when I come to my husband with just like upset and anger and, you're doing this and I don't like this, and it's never harmonious. But what I've learned with our therapist is that if I come to him with an open heart, kind of wanting to understand where he's coming from, and then also having compassion for where he's coming from, and then sort of restating his fears or his reality, then I notice we sort of, like, he's over here and I'm over here, and then we can sort of come together, right? And so I think that's true with any situation that, like, so someone else sees something one way and then we see it another way. And it's like, what we need to do is kind of see, okay, where are we similar? What do we both want to achieve? And then, like, what's the separation? And then how can we bridge the separation, right? So I was thinking about, what do all the people pushing our kids to wear masks, where are they coming from? And I think that a large amount of it is steeped in fear, and fear for their own safety, fear for their family's safety. And it doesn't make sense to us, and I'm speaking for us as the parents that kind of see things in a certain way. And we don't like these masks on our kids. And so for us, like, we understand all the science and everything that that fabulous dad, I'm forgetting his name, it's like something Cody, but I saw all the footage of him at the school board and I was like, yes, that's awesome. So we understand that these toddlers and children and smaller kids, like, they're not getting COVID, they're not really spreading it at a rapid, their cases are mild, whatever. We understand that. But I think maybe some people have elderly relatives at home. Maybe even though they've gotten the shot, they still don't feel safe. So I think there's a lot of, like, fear on their part. Like, they're in this classroom, like, having compassion for the fact that even though it doesn't make sense to us, there's a lot of fear going on, okay? And then also something I see with my husband, that I am not like that. So we had an interesting situation. Like, my husband, he likes to do the right thing. And I feel like there's a certain segment of the population, they just want to do the right thing. Like, the government said so, and the school board said so, and I'm just doing my job. And so, they're kind of taking themselves out of the situation because they're just kind of defaulting to, well, it's out of my hands, they said so. And so we were outside and we were waiting for a table in a restaurant, and I know if I'm outside in the sunshine, in the air, I can take my mask off. If I'm like nowhere near anyone, I'm gonna take my mask off, right? And so we were waiting for a table. I took my mask off. I made sure my daughter took her mask off. And then my husband's like, I'm just gonna keep my mask on because I don't want anyone to bother me and I don't want to make anyone feel unsafe, right? So we were sitting in a bench, and this woman who was probably about 70 something, she sat down. It was at the end of the bench from where I was and where my daughter was, and she just looked at me and she took off her mask. And it was in that moment that I felt there was a little win, that by my mask being off, I allowed someone else to take their mask off, right? And so, like many of you, I am the only parent at school with no mask on. And I am at pickup, I am at drop off, and I am not wearing a mask. And I tell my daughter, like, as soon as she comes out of the school, I'm like, and I say it kind of in a loud way so parents understand where I'm at. I say, let's take that mask off. We're out in the sunshine. We're outside. We don't need the mask. We're safe. Everything's fine. Let's take the mask off. And so I was the only one for a while. And now there's another mom that's been showing up for about the last 2 weeks. I've been doing it for about a month. And I just think it's like little wins, little slow changes. And then I was at the playground. My daughter was not wearing a mask. I was not wearing a mask. There were 3 parents that were kind of hanging back, no mask. Everybody else was masked up. But I was having conversation with a dad who I know is a dad of one of her classmates. And he's wearing the mask, and I'm far away, like 6 feet away. And I'm just kind of talking with him. And then I just kind of mentioned, I'm like, we're outside. You don't need it. And I could see that there was like a struggle going on. And he kind of looked around to see all the other parents. I could see he didn't want to create an issue or a problem. But he looked at me and he's like, oh yeah. And he just took his mask off, put it in his pocket, had a deep breath, but his child and my child saw us being comfortable without masks. And so I think I call that a little win. And for me, it's kind of like we know where we are and we know where we want to be. And so we want to be where there's no mask. We want to be where our kids don't wear a mask, right? We know we want that. And then we know where we are. I'm sending my daughter to school. She's there for 7 hours wearing a mask. I don't like it. She comes home, I look at the mask. It's disgusting, So we kind of see the big difference between where we are and where we want to be. And that creates a longing and discontent, right? And so I want to say, to do what you can from where you are with what you have. And I feel like this is important. So there's the fighting and the wanting the mask off and wanting to change the whole thing. But what I'm saying is, if we look at things and look at the little wins and see where there's a possibility where we can affect change, then I think it's going to be a lot easier for us. First of all, it's going to relax our nervous systems if we feel like we're actually doing something. And I love this forum here, and I've seen all the videos, and it's really powerful about the kids who are having a real struggle with it, and it breaks my heart. And I think it's important to see that, because we need to know what's going on so that we can go where we want to go. It's good to know where you're at so that you know where you want to go. And I think the thing that's important about being where you don't want to be and having what you don't want to have is that it creates a desire for what you want. And I'm really focused on law of attraction and knowing what I want and what do I want. So I woke up this morning. I was in that twilight, just kind of waking up stage, and I saw a vision of my daughter's class. Kind of doing a story time outside on one of the 3 fields at our school. We're very lucky. We have a lot of space here. We kind of live in the country. And so I had this vision of all the children still at a kind of a safe distance, all sitting in a circle in the round in the sunshine and no masks. And the teacher was reading them a story. Now, I know there's story time. I know there's rug time. I know that they do that, but why can't they do that outside, right? So now I'm in a position where this is actually something we can have a conversation about. This is something where the school board won't look at us and be like, you're crazy, you know, but they'll be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, actually. Why can't they do some lessons outside? So that's something that we can affect change, right? There's also recess. Like we could push a little more with getting the masks off when they're outside at recess. You know, I told my daughter, I said, do you guys take your mask off during recess? She says, oh no, they want us to keep them on. And I was really upset. And I said to her, you go and you tell them that your mommy said it's okay, that if you're outside and you're not really near anyone, you can have your mask off. So I want to empower her to kind of say these things and take that approach. So there's that. And so I just want to sort of have all of us kind of step into our power with like, what can I do from where I am with what I have? Well, I think this is a big one. And I was just imagining this and it actually got me choked up and it got me, I was really affected by this. So every day when I take my daughter to school, whether I walk her to school or we're in the car, like today I saw 10 kids on bicycles and they were all wearing masks. And I saw fathers and daughters walking to school, just the two of them, and they were wearing masks. And it just made me so sad. It's like, they don't need that. They're going to be in school for 7 hours wearing a mask. What are they doing? And I just thought it was bonkers, frankly. But I feel like that's an area where we could have a conversation. We could start an initiative, okay? We all know walking to school, you know, it enlivens you. You're in nature, you're in the sunshine, you're breathing. I mean, like we live in the country, there's so many gorgeous trees and greenery. And it's like, that's a moment of solace, of active meditation. And before they go in and they have to wear that mask for 7 hours, what if we, you know, just make some sort of initiative like naked face walk, or show your smile, walk to school, or something like that. And then we have that moment of breath and freedom for these children. And so that to me would be #LittleWin. Starting it right now. We're starting it right now on this conversation, #LittleWin. That's a little win. The minute you get your kid, take that mask off. You know, don't wear the mask at the playground. You know, little win. And so these are little things we can do. So I just want to leave you with that. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. This is like a really big deal to me. I can't stand it. It's breaking my heart. So anyway, I love you guys. I just wanted to share some important ideas that I had. And then please share this video. Please like it. Maybe we could, please contact me. We can start some of these ideas. Show your smile when you walk to school and little win and stuff like that. And I just think even if they got that little 10 minutes in the morning when they were walking to school just without the mask, and that the parents were creating a sense of safety and they didn't need it, you know, that would be really great. So please join me in this. I'm just one mom, but I just feel like if we could get the school to kind of send home a letter, like, we encourage you to walk to school with just a smile on your face, okay? And imagine if every single school district did that, then at least these kids would be getting that 10 minutes, you know? And then walking home is the same thing. I see the same thing. So that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for you guys to affect change and go for the little wins, and eventually we'll get where we want to go. When we feel a bigger sense of safety. But for now, let's just do the little things that create normalcy and safety. So thank you so much. I love you all. I'm sending you a lot of good hugs from one mom to another. Lots of love, and thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate it. And so will our kids. Thank you.